because this is something that I want to cover. I really do. Alright, so what you want to notice is that who writes these is something that I can go along with. So these are the patch notes, preseason spotlight, all of this, we're going to get into it. Stick with me, guys. Patch 9.23 notes. So by Aether, welcome to the preseason. I hope you are ready for some big shakeups to Summoner's Rift, expansions and overhauls to multiple item systems, and major work to a bunch of new keystones. In many respects, this is our most ambitious preseason in years, and we are excited to see what new picks and strategies develop in a world where the map itself changes during the game. As usual, the next couple of months will be all about establishing and stabilizing the new meta as we head toward the season start. So now is the time to jump in if you want to be ahead of the curve when rank kicks off in the new year. On the rank note, if you're looking to scratch your competitive itch, TFT is something that we do not cover on this channel. However, if you want to check out the patch notes, they give you a link to what's going on in the convergence right here in the post. So best of luck with your preseason matches, and I'm hoping you make it through this wall of patch notes. And yeah, I'm saying that for the good of myself. Paul Aether Proceed. So yeah, the preseason 2020 spotlight. Let's check this out and review it. Why not? All right. So as you can see, this is the Cloud Rift. This is the Infernal Rift. Ocean Rift right here. Wow, I love those effects. And this is the Summoner's Rift, Rise of the Elements. So as you can see, new dragons, burns, walls and rifts and whatnot in the jungle. So this is the Infernal Dragon's effect. The brush is blown away too. Okay, so the Mountain Rift, new terrain. You get this extra rock spawned in the jungle so you can have new interactions with different champions. So Oceanic Rifts, the brush and the honey fruit spawn. So champions like Rengar, who are currently broken at the moment, he has pretty much a AD version of Magi Soul Stealer for free, and I don't know why he's broken like that, but you know, Cloud has speed boost and zones. So yeah. Let's just talk about the outplay potential of bot lane. Wow, look at that. So yeah, with all of this going down, you get 4 dragons to get a soul, right? So Infernal Soul, AoE explosion on attack. So this is a short overview of each mountain or dragon soul. I meant to say mountain soul out of shield combat. Like, look at that. Out of combat shield. So that's a nice buff right there to noobs. I'm just joking, guys. You gotta include the crackdown puns. And yeah, you can see that the Ocean Soul heals people on attacks. So I wanted to review that a little bit more, just so you can see it go. Like, his health is just gradually going up. So Cloud Soul movement on ult cast. It's really cool. And last but not least, the Elder Dragon. So execute low health enemies with this. Alright, that's great. So yeah, I apologize for pausing the video. Yeah, this is a lot of new gameplay I wanted to show you. Start the journey. Let's go ahead and get started. So Postfire Thresh and Postfire Thresh Prestige Edition will be available on the game November 21st, 2019. So the end of the season. The 2019 season has drawn to a close, and I hope you reached your rank goals in this season. If you achieved gold or higher in Summoner's Rift or Solo or Flex, so I said that a bit fast. So let's just break this down. If you achieved gold or higher in Solo, Flex, or Twisted Tree Line ranked, you've earned victorious Aatrox unless you got banned or have gotten chat restricted for this season. If you achieve gold or higher in 2 of these queues of Solo, Flex, or Twisted Tree Line, in 2 of them you will get a victorious Aatrox Chroma. So yeah, this is it right here. This is the Chroma and this is the skin. Alright, moving on along. There's the splash art too. Elemental Rifts. So this preseason, we are adding some more game-to-game variety. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Let's just go ahead and get some music going. Why not, right? So yeah, let's just cover more patch notes. There are more opportunities to master Summoner's Rift. After the second elemental trait of the game dies, the map will be permanently transformed to one of 4 elemental rifts, each with unique terrain changes that'll alter the way you take on team fights, rotations, vision, and objective control. Elemental rifts don't favor a specific team, so games are still in players' hands regardless of which one takes shape. We also wanted to ensure the rifts feel intuitive even in your first game, so they don't introduce any new mechanics, and terrain changes always occur in the same areas no matter which element spawns. So yeah, transformation triggers after the second elemental drake dies and the third is announced. So this can be a bit confusing to understand on paper, to be honest, the transformation mechanics, but I assure you that I'm going to be uploading Season 10 gameplay on the channel. But this is in effect for the preseason, so it's pretty epic. It's here now. So the rift element is the same element of the third drake, and territorial changes are here as well. So once the map transforms, all future elemental drakes that spawn will be of that element only. So yeah, terrain changes always occur in the 4 jungle quadrants centered around the buff camps as well as the dragon pit. This was a bit butchered, but I hope you stick with me. Please like the video if you are enjoying the video so far. It inspires me to keep going. So yeah, this is the part that's burnt off of the pit is widened now. As you can see right here, the dragon pit. In the jungle, the brush near to blue and red buffs burn away and new pathways open up in the blue and red buff pits like we saw in the video. This is the stuff that got burnt away, and the brush is gone, the walls are gone right there near the pit. Easier to see right here. So yeah, Mountain Rift is all about those extra tight spaces that give opportunities for big AoE wombos and create some interesting new hiding spots with the Fog of War. So champions like Ornn, Malphite, Orianna, all of those can take a lot of beneficial advantages around fighting for objectives right here. So harder to get out of these catacombs, and you can see a new rock here and here to tighten these spaces and make it a lot harder to navigate through. Alright, so let's talk about the Oceanic Rift. So sneak around the jungle or look for a new ambush opportunity. So this is the Ocean Rift. Most of the brush in the jungle grows larger and new honey fruit spawns near the buff camps. So water pools into puddles throughout the jungle, which is mostly aesthetic unless you're the Empress of the Elements or running the water walking rune. So this was a nice pun by Riot. I'm pretty sure the Empress comment means, wow, I actually lost my place. Wow. So the Empress of the Elements. So doing this is a Kiana reference, I believe. And the water walking rune is just a very good rune to take. So a lot more brush. It's raining on the rift due to the drake. And yeah, ambush opportunities are immense. The Cloud Rift, you can dodge skill shots or make a swift collapse on your enemies trying to sneak far away from an objective. So this gives you move speed around here, I believe. So quote me if I'm wrong, but you have move speed in the jungle, and the video taught us that when you use ult, you're gonna get move speed. So yeah, just all around, it looks like movement speed around the jungle. So yeah, it grants speed boosts to everyone inside. Side lane alcoves. We're adding 2 new lane alcoves to the rift, 1 in each side lane. We don't expect laning to fundamentally change as a result. Yeah, they don't expect that, but I think it will, honestly. But the extra terrain and its impact on line of sight should occasionally offer new playmaking opportunities through positioning, jukes, flanks, and ganks. So we talked about this on a video that is in the top right hand of the corner of the screen in a card, and this will show you the alcoves in video format and gameplay format. But don't click off the video quite yet. Stick with me and subscribe to the channel for more videos, because I cover everything as soon as it comes out that's new. Breathtaking Vista of Death. So yeah, that's what it's called. New alcoves carved into the lanes. The river entrance brush, so new brush patches near the blue buff ramps into river and add strategic and optional or tactical options as team approach and contest objectives. So I like this brush right here near blue right here, and there is another one on the other side of the map near this nice engraving stone that nobody knows is there. Not many players know. Stuttering like a boss here, but yeah, where's Garen? A new brush has been added by the river entrances in both new blue buff quadrants. So yeah, butchered. But yeah, you get what's going on. No point of further explaining. Elemental Drakes right here, Dragon Souls. So they are a new in-game payoff for the team who wins the Elemental Drake game. A powerful reward that's similar to an epic objective. Dragon Souls don't offer the same moment-to-moment strength as Baron or Elder buff, but they're permanent and additional bonus on top of the Drake stacks their bearers already earned. So yeah, I got a soul. The first team to slay 4 elemental drakes gain a dragon soul matching them the elemental rift. So if you have any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below. It'll help a lot of people if you do. So exclusivity, Elder Dragon begins spawning after one team gains a dragon soul, meaning one team can have it. Okay, so like elemental dragon buffs, dragon souls are permanent and persist through death. So Infernal Soul, every 3 seconds, your next damage and attack or ability on an enemy unit triggers a small explosion dealing 90 plus a quarter of 1 bonus attack damage plus a 0.15 of ability power. So that's rounding up, scaling, you know, plus 0.03 of your bonus HP damage to the target and nearby enemies. So yeah, Mountain Soul, after not taking damage for 5 seconds, gain a shield for 225 plus 0.2 bonus attack damage plus 0.15 ability power and plus 0.15 bonus health. So I've said that in a bunch of variations. However, yeah, this is what the soul buffs do. So you get a shield here, Infernal Soul, you get more damage that does AoE damage. So Ocean Soul, dealing damage to enemies heals you for 180 plus 0.4 bonus attack damage plus 0.25 or a quarter of 1 ability power and plus 0.1 or a tenth bonus health and restores 90 plus 0.04 maximum mana over 3 seconds. So yeah, these numbers are based off of 1, all of them right here in these parentheses. So yeah, damage to minions or monsters regenerates with 30% effectiveness. And the Cloud Soul, you passively gain the 10% increased movement speed. So after casting your ultimate, gain an additional 30% movement speed for 3 seconds, 30-second cooldown. So yeah, these are all of the souls explained. Elemental Drake buffs. So Elemental Drake buffs are the fact that they're updating the buffs to be more equal in power and excitement. Stack for stack, elemental buffs are weaker than before to avoid excessively power creeping Summoner's Rift's buff ecosystem. With Dragon Souls adding new late game payout to the elemental drakes, we're switching from the current front load buff stacks back to a linear model. Last note, you can You get 4 stacks of an element if the enemy team gets the first 2 or 3 drakes, always different elements. Then you can get the next 4 that are always the same element. So yeah, every single time you kill a drake you get something, these element stacks. So basically Infernal is just a balance pass Infernal Might. So it's getting nerfed from 10 to 5 at rank 1, so essentially half the dragon it is now on the first spawn. So yeah, you can see the numbers right here. You get 10% attack damage and ability power at the second Infernal Drake that you have, 5% extra at the first, so it's still gonna matter, but it's less powerful than it used to be. Literally half at level 1. So I just said that Mountain Drake. Let's just get on to the next stuff. So extra damage to objectives with a subtle yet powerful snowballing effect was often hard to appreciate outside of coordinated play, where switching Mountain to a straightforward effect all players can play around. So Mountain's Vigor is now extra armor and magic resist instead of the extra bonus damage to epic monsters and turrets. So that's gonna impact the game a lot. We're removing Ocean's mana regen to even its power out among users regardless of resource type. That gives us room to allow Ocean's healing to continue in combat, which is a buff for any user. Oceanic will. So yeah, this is the new buff here. So 5, 10, 15, and 20% of missing health regen per 5 seconds for each stack. You get an extra 5% missing health regen for 5 seconds. So this does not depend on the amount of health that you have. So that's pretty big. Cloud's movement speed was powerful, but not all that exciting. We're moving the speed boost to Cloud's elemental rift, where it can support it with visuals, and adding a different kind of haste to Cloud's buff. So they are buffing this overall. So 10. Oh, this is what the ultimate CDR is. Okay, so you get ultimate CDR for each stack of Cloud Drakes that you slay. So yeah, 10% CDR. That is pretty big. No more movement speed. Okay, that is different. I like that. So elemental Drake mechanics, with dragon types going down to just one element after the rift transforms, we're ensuring the first few you see don't double up on elements, so you still experience a variety of drakes in each game. So Drake spawn order is the first 3 drakes now are always the 3 unique elements, so it's not random anymore. The first 3 drakes are now always 3 unique elements. All subsequent drakes will be the same element as the 3rd drake. So the drake spawn window is 5 minutes initially, so 5-minute respawn until one team has slain 4 drakes. Alright, so this was clarified a bit earlier in the Dragon Soul section above. Since the elemental drake buffs are a bit weaker, which they are, we are buffing the health of the first, we're dropping the health of the first 2 drakes, I meant to say. Okay, so I noticed this in the PvE playing it. The dragons are a lot weaker in health early on. So yeah, the battle over the Dragon Souls begins heating up after that. So drakes have, so the first 2 have more health to widen the opportunity for teams to contest. So after the first dragon, the second will have more health, is what they're saying. So yeah, so 2,650 plus 240 per level, minimum level 6 before the rift transforms. 4,350, 240 per level, minimum level 6 for the 3rd drake onward. So yes, this is the 2nd and the 3rd drake. Quote me on this if it's not correct. This may be the 1st and 2nd. Okay, yeah, this is, yeah, I think the 1st and 2nd here. Okay, so The Elder Dragon. Up until now, Elder Dragon massively favored the team that was already ahead due to scaling with the dragon stacks. So we are removing the scaling to make more room for power that's equally rewarding whether you press the lead or making a comeback. So yeah, they put in quotation in parentheses, I meant to say, in super long games itself. So this will shorten the game time. So removed is the elemental dragon multiplier. So Elder Dragon's buff no longer increases the effects of elemental Drake buffs by 50%. The burn damage is now different, so it's 90 to 270 true damage over 3 seconds at 25 to 45 minutes of game time. So that is a big buff right there. People are going to be dying from this buff. Be careful. Removed, so it's burning bright. Elder Dragon's burn no longer reveals enemies, and also removed Elder's multiplier. Taking Elder Dragon the second time no longer increase the elemental buff multiplier to 100% or the burn damage to 135 plus 90 per elemental dragon stack. So Elder's new mechanic is an execute, sharpening its identity as the end of game teamfighting buff and making its impact much more obvious than the dot and Drake scaling it used to grant. Note, the 20% threshold looks higher than it is in practice. You'll rarely bring an enemy to exactly 19.9% before they go boom. So the new execute is what we saw in the video. Damaging an enemy at less than 20% health causes them to die, and then Elder Immolation. What am I playing? Minecraft Ender? Elder Immolation after 0.5 seconds. No cooldown to this. Denied. Elder Immolation can't execute enemies through vulnerability effects like Zaya's or Kendra's R. Her ultimate is Lamb's Respite. You know what keeps teammates alive inside of a spear or a circle. Yeah, you can Zaya's this effect that executes you. We are standardizing the duration of Elder and Barret to 3 minutes. These buffs should last long enough for attacking teams to gain real advantages off coordinated power plays, but not so long that the attackers come out ahead if they passively leave opponents stuck on defense for extended periods. So that's why it's balanced, this 3-minute timer it has. If these duration changes make Elder too strong and Baron too weak, we'll adjust their effects accordingly. The buff duration used to be 30 seconds shorter than it is now. So yeah, final note on how the Elder will actually show up in games. In Complete Stomp, the earliest Elder can spawn in 26 minutes plus time spent in combat with these Drakes. But in game, that's going on. But in a game that's going on or isn't seeing many objectives taken, it's also possible for Elder to never spawn. So if you don't kill the dragons, it might not spawn. Basically, spawn rules: 6 minutes after one team kills their 4th elemental Drake. So the 6-minute respawn is for these Elder Dragons instead of 5, or that's what well, the first dragon spawn after 35, 6 respawn, or 6 after one team. Oh, right, 6-minute respawn. You gotta kill your 4th elemental Drake and then the 6th respawn. So it can spawn in 26 minutes. That's the math is right there. Baron buff. So we're standardizing the duration of Elder and Baron to 3 minutes, though they should have different strategic strengths. Both buffs should last long enough for attacking teams to gain real advantages off coordinated players, their power plays, but not so long that the defenders are paralyzed for excessive lengths of time. If these durations make Elder too strong or Baron too weak, we'll adjust their effects accordingly. So Baron basically got nerfed by 30 seconds. So buff visuals. So the visuals for blue, red, and Hand of Baron, the aspect of the dragon, the Elder Dragon buff, have all been updated, and some monster buffs are now visually cohesive, including the new Dragon Soul. So as you can see, this Infernal image right here, that's a Dragon Soul. This is Baron. This is the Elder right here. This is blue, red, and the Elder effect. that you can get with the burn when you get hit by it. So yeah, I just explained all of this. Actually, no, this is red buff burn. This is red buff burn, not the Elder Dragon burn. I misspoke. So yeah, top lane influence Rift Herald with the increased importance on Drake's on bot side. We're spawning the Rift Herald a bit earlier and letting her respawn once, so teams don't completely abandon their top laners in favor of bot lane presence more than they already do. You know this is true. Rift Herald fight is to initially spawn it at 8 minutes, and the new respawn time is at 6 minutes. So it takes 6 minutes. If you kill this soon, you can get 2. Despawns at 1930, delayed to 1950th in combat, which has always been like that. And the health has been overall lowered, and it gets a bit less early on and slightly even less later on. So 10,000 level 1 or level 6, 16,000 at level 12, 0.4 attack speed. It's easier to poke the Rift's eye before she spins around with this attack speed nerf. So yeah, it's important and easier to get these. The Summon Rift Herald is going to be the 20-second Rift window you can pick it up. The Eye of the Herald channel is from, it takes 1 second instead of 4 seconds. Herald's level, so you can average level all 10 champions determined on picking up the Eye of the Herald, whatever that means. Also, the health is changed from 3,000 to from 4,000. So it's a lot squishier than it used to be, but at the final level it gets, Shelly is pretty much the same max HP when it's at highest level. The headbutt turret damage is now only 1,500 damage to 2,500. So it doesn't scale anymore off of anything other than these flat rates. Which, yeah, that's all. Lower health on Shelly basically, and the self damage, it also does more of the current health. Alright, so the Minion XP, we're slightly adjusting Minion XP lightly and slightly equalizing the influence of top and bot laners have on the game. Solo laners will level about 2% faster from minions, while duo laners or solo laners getting non-stop jungler attention will level about 2% slower. Put in another way, every 5 waves adds up to an extra casted minion for solo laners and 1 fewer for bot. So yeah, they have buff solo laners. The melee damage is now 60. Actually no, the melee XP for solo is now 60. I meant to say I misspoke. Caster is 29, a little bit higher. You round it up to 30, and the cannon is 93 XP. So you share XP a lot less now. So bot laners level up slower when they're in the same lane. 2 people duoing the lane. So turret plating, slightly buffed turret plates durability to prevent group and push blowouts early game, especially with the Rift Herald changes. So extra 35 armor magic resist per 3rd, 4th, and 5th attacker when a plate is destroyed. So now you want to bring less people when you're getting plates. Doran shield, melee regen increased and the range regen decreased. So buffing these shields regen to make it a stronger option in melee versus ranged matchups. So yeah, the range regen is decreased. I really like this, I really do. So the passive is up to 40 health over 8 seconds when damaged by an enemy champion based on missing health. You regen this after taking damage. 66% effective for ranged users or when triggered by AoE duration of time or proc effects. Yeah, the or part is big. You know, or when triggered by area of effect, duration of time, or proc effects. So keep that in mind. Jungle pacing. We've incentivized junglers to prioritize we're incentivizing junglers to prioritize farming rather than just fitting camps in between ganks. Higher camp uptime ensures junglers have consistent access to... Wow, I just started my music over. I got distracted in my train of thought. So I appreciate the support. If you like this video here, I'm getting a little burnt out. Since junglers will be able to clear their camps more frequently, we're reducing the gold and experience a full clear grant so they don't take over games. We're also ensuring both sides of the jungle get junglers to level 3 in their first clear. Okay, so they're basically saying that higher camp uptime ensures junglers have consistent access to gold and XP across on their side of the map, and removal of catch-up XP steepens the gold cost or XP cost of failed ganks. Okay, so junglers are going to be clearing camps more efficiently. So no more catch-up XP. Jungle items no longer grant additional XP on monster kills if you're behind in levels. The epic monsters still innately have catch-up XP though. So first camp bonus XP is buffed. So this is a big buff to jungle, I think. No more catch-up XP. So camp timers. Small camp respawn is 120 seconds. So now there are icons on the camp respawns. If you have vision on a small camp when it was killed, you'll see a respawn icon on the map 15 seconds before the respawn, and buff camp respawn icons are buff camp respawn icons change from gray to yellow 15 seconds before respawn. So yeah, these will be glowing differently, easy to see in game. Alright, so the base XP is 160 on Krugs, so they're nerfing Krugs. Base gold as well by 5. So Merc Wolves base XP down by 95 and base gold down by 70. So big jungle nerfs. Actually, I misspoke. These are big jungle nerfs. So the base health 1800 to 2100, more HP on Gromp, however more XP on it, and gold. So you want to start Gromp. Basically, you want to start Gromp, and the Raptors give less XP and gold as well. So the most powerful camps are still Gromp. Like Gromp is the best. So lethality items, though the item system currently has been 3 lethality options, AD assassins overwhelmingly favor Duskblade and Youmuu's and typically skip Edge of Night. This leads to a lot of sameness in terms of how one game feels relative to the next for them. We're adding 2 new options and reworking Edge to give assassin players more ways to adapt their build to each game. So Duskblade of Drakthar, 80 increased and Blackout removed. So the utility passive is Blackout, which is the disabling nearby enemy wards when you get revealed. So yeah, the traps too, and giving it a bit more damage, making it the highest lethality and highest AD upgrade to Dirk. So 2900 gold, 60 attack damage, 21 lethality, 10% CDR, Night Stalker. The unique passive. After being unseen for 1 second, your next base attack against an enemy champion within 5 seconds of being seen deals 30 to 150 based on level bonus on hit physical damage. Melee attacks slow the target by 99% for 0.5 seconds after a 0.25 second delay. Okay, so that's the new Duskblade, a buff. So active ghost users, it's literally the same except for 1 quality of life buff. Still buy it if you want to go fast. We're only putting this for ease of comparison. So this stuff is the same, it looks like. AD 55, 18 lethality, 2900 cost, 10% CDR. We got 40 plus move speed out of combat with the active as well. You have 20 plus move speed percent, by the way, for 6 seconds, 45% cooldown. And Youmuu's active now allows its users to ignore a unit collision for the duration. So Edge of Night has been updated. Spell Shield now works with like Banshee's Veil. Health increase, attack damage, and lethality decrease. Cost decrease. So Edge of Night is the defensive lethality option. I dropped my phone. Oops. But attaching that function to an active with a steep learning curve has made it ineffective for most aspiring assassins. We're switching Edge of Night Spell Shield to a passive, making it more usable for a much wider skill range. This reliability incurs a damage cost. Edge of Night will no longer grant extra AD or lethality over to its components, though we've buffed its health to even things out overall. So the total cost is 2,900 gold. The attack damage has been decreased by 5, 8 lethality knocked off. Also 100 gold was knocked off total cost, and yeah, 125 more health. Actually no, 75 more health on Edge of Night, and the unique active is removed, so the channel for 1 second to gain a shield that blocks the next enemy ability within 7 seconds removed. Spell Shield grants the spell shield that blocks the next enemy ability. This shield refreshes after no damage is taken from an enemy for 40 seconds. New item, Sanguine Blade. Gain attack speed and lethality when near one or fewer enemies. The first of our 2 new items, Sanguine Blade, offers Dust Blade tier damage when you're hunting lone enemies, but drop closer to Edge of Night levels when you're team fighting. So this encourages Rengar and Kha'Zix players to build this, or somebody who can fight a lot of players at once. But I don't agree with this, but you can see that what's the honor in that? You know, what's the honor in 5v1 or all of this? So yeah, that's Riot's take. This is my alarm. I have to go into work soon. So yeah, Serrated Dirk and Vampiric Scepter plus 1,000 gold is how much this costs. So this is 1,100 gold. This is 800 gold plus 1,000 gold, around that. Hopefully I did that right. The math, quote me. I guess I don't know. I don't really mind. Quick math. Blood Pursuit. While near one or fewer visible enemy champions, gain 8 lethality and 40 to 100% attack speed from levels 1 to 18, decaying over 3 seconds if the other enemy champions get too close. UMBRAL GLAIVE is a new blackout item, the second lethality edition, and the home of the new blackout passive. UMBRAL GLAIVE's stats aren't too high, but it's also the cheapest lethality item. Pick it up if you want to black out the enemy's map. That's why the passive is called blackout. So 2,400 gold, build pass, Serrated Dirk longsword, and 600 gold, lethality 12, 10% CDR, and when spotted by enemy ward, reveal traps and disable wards around you for 8 seconds. During this time, basic attacks instantly kill traps and deal triple damage to wards. So this is got a passive from the old Dust Blade. Serrated Dirk has been changed. Headhunter is removed, and the item shop has a few component pieces where passive disappear from your upgrades, and Serrated Dirk is one of them. These days we're not huge fans of that, since disappearing passive asks you to play around an effect that you lose access to as the game progresses. Since the lethality lines getting an overall power up from the adaptability provided by new options, we're nerfing it by removing the disappearing passive from Dirk. So the Headhunter passive is now removed, so your next damaging spell no longer deals 40 bonus damage after you kill an enemy. Support items mechanics updates. We are refreshing the support items to be less poachable by solo laners, and have an expanded quest system that provides free automatic upgrades, letting supports start the rest of the build earlier. This should also lead to more build diversity between champs that use the same starter. As a trade-off, tribute no longer damages and spoils of war no longer heals, so supports will have less impact in the early lane phase. At max tier, we've removed the tribute spoils of war passives. Most of the gold these effects granted is still earned in the lower tiers, and passive gold is up. Passive gold per 10 is up. Okay, so mid-late game economy is still buffed overall, considering the gold made available by these free updates or upgrades. We're also introducing 80 equivalents of the items to broaden the cast of champs who can be played as support. At launch, they'll basically be the same as the AP versions, but symmetry may break down by the road as we balance each item line event individually. So they're saying that they're going to be unbalanced, or they might get unbalanced as they adjust them, or as the game proves to be like that. Yeah, they're saying it'll probably happen. How satisfying. Support items still have 3 tiers, but now upgrade automatically for free as long as you complete their quest. That's interesting. They're saying that there will be unbalanced. Some will be better than others. 400 gold starting item tier 1. So earn gold with tribute or spoils of war to upgrade. So tier 2 increased stats and 3 war charges each. Earn gold with tribute or spoils of war to upgrade. Okay, these are the tiers. It looks like every single support item, or is this just for the type of relic shield? I'm not too sure. It doesn't say much, but significantly increased stats for 4 total war charges at tier 3. Tribute or spoils of war go away. So the cumulative cost is 400 gold. I don't really understand the support items from this by itself, so I will be playing to find out. And yeah, it's already out in the game anyways. So Eat the Rich. Anti-poaching is farming more than 20 CS per 5 minutes, 3 out of 5 waves. It reduces the gold from minions by 50%. The penalty increases with further CS to a max of 80% reduction at 50 minions. Once this penalty kicks in, your CS gold is reduced to 70 CS within 5 minutes of a percent. Okay, once this penalty, like, it's so weird. Eat the Rich. Farming more than 20 CS per 5 minutes out of 3 of the 10 waves reduces gold from minions by 50%. So I think this is to stop supports from stealing AD CS. So once the penalty kicks in, the CS gold is reduced to 70 CS within 5 minutes. Okay, so on paper it's kind of confusing to read, but I hope you understand it. Spelthy's edge line. So yeah, this is all different. The magical flavored aggressive line with fancy new icons. Tribute no longer deals damage, so Spellthief's users won't be contributing as much to early skirmishes. The new anti-poaching rule lets us rip out Tribute's nearby ally requirement and charge rate CS penalty. Tribute gold is buffed for Spellthieves, but nerfed for Frostfang to maintain the time at which supporters gain access to wards, given they can't pay to upgrade to Frostfang, but push the final upgrade later than when supports previously completed Remnant of the Watchers. Shard of the True Ice stats on top of the items purchased with freed up transformation gold would have been too much of a buff. So there are new passives and whatnot that are altered. Tribute changes. So the old tribute is removed. Damaging spells and attacks against champions or buildings deal 13 bonus magic damage, and if an ally is nearby, grant 11 upgraded 22 gold in parentheses. So gain a charge every 10 seconds up to 3 charges before quest completion. Tribute generations pauses for 12 seconds per minion or non-epic monster skin, or 12 tribute generation pauses for 12 seconds per minion or non-epic monster slain. Tribute, wow, that's big actually. So the new tribute is damaging spells and attacks against enemy champions or buildings grant 15 gold. Gain a charge every 10 seconds up to 3 charges. Okay, Spell Thief's Edge looks different. 400 gold, 8 AP, 10 HP. Mana regen is removed. Gold per 10 is 2. And the passive Tribute, damaging spells and attacks against enemy champions or buildings grant 15 gold. This can occur up to 3 seconds. This can occur up to 3 times every 30 seconds. Earning 500 total gold through Tribute upgrades this item to Frostfang. Big nerf to AP Sona if you wonder. But yeah, anyways, Frostfang, 15 AP power. Alright, 15 AP, 70 HP. No longer grants mana regen, no longer grants CDR. And 3 gold per 10. The Tribute for the damaging spells and attacks against champions or buildings. We just read this. Grant 15 gold. Can occur 3 times within 30 seconds. Warding, you know, it's the same. And the quest, earning 1000 total gold through the Tribute upgrades this item to Shard of True Ice. Alright, so this is Shard of True Ice. 60 AP, 150 health. Remove mana regen. Remove CDR. Remove the unique passive. And also, yeah, that's it for that. Spectral Sickle line. Sheesh. This physical flavored aggressive line. Sorry for the distractions. But yeah, there is 400 gold on this for the cost. 5 AD, 10 health, gold per 10, 2 unique passive Tribute, damaging. Yeah, this we've read this. And quest, earning 500 total gold through Tribute upgrades this item to Herald Crescent. So 10 AD, 70 health, 3 gold per 10. Same stuff as the other stuff, honestly. And earning 1000 gold through this turns it to Black Mist. And the Black Mist Scythe, 35 AD, 150 health, 3 gold per 10. And the warding, which is the active. The Relic Shield line is different. So yeah, the magical flavored defense line, also with new icons. Spoils of War is losing its heal, means duos aren't going to have the same staying power in lane as they do now. However, this allows us to grant ranged champs access to the Minion Execute. Like Tribute's gold values, we've standardized Spoil of War's change rate to be slightly faster for Relic Shield, but slower than Targon's Buckler. This supports access to wars at tier 2 while maintaining overall progression of their item builds via a later tier 3 upgrade. So the Spoils of War is removed, so while near an enemy ally, what? Remove old Spoils of War while near an ally. Attacks execute minions below 200 and 285 HP. Speaking quickly, 215 to 470 and 350 to 860. This scales with levels. 100% AD health. Healing the enemy, or the healing the nearest ally is all gone. You know, ranged basic attacks don't get to execute. New Spoils of War, while you also gain a charge every 30 seconds and 20 seconds, and up to 2, 3, and 4 charges. And while near an ally, basic attacks. This is the new one. So while nearby an ally, basic attacks execute minions below 50% of their max health, 30% for range, and grant your ally kill gold. This effect recharges every 45 seconds, max 3 charges, so 50% executes for the minions. For this Relic Shield looks different. Health and nerf by 20, 30 HP flat now, 5 AP, 2 gold per 10. AP item now. Spoils of War, we just read this. And 500 gold through the upgrade. Tarragon's Buckler. So 100 HP, AP is 10, and yeah, this stuff is the same. And 1,000 gold upgrades this item. I'm saying this stuff is the same because it is. Like while nearby an enemy I mean, while nearby an ally, I keep mispronouncing that, you can execute this. No penalty for the ranged. At this level though, no penalty for ranged. So 50% for ranged as well at this rank. And Bulwark of the Mountain, once you get this completed, the quest, you get, yeah, you get some extra health, AP, and all the same stuff as before. No more of health regen and cooldown reduction. That's been removed. Steel shoulder guards line, new item, 400 gold, 30 health, 3 AD, and 2 gold for 10. And this is the same as what I just read, the execute. 50% for melee, 30% for range, 45 second recharge, max 3 charges. Upgrade the chest, or the quest, 500 gold to Rune Steel Spawnders, 100 HP, 6 AD, 3 gold for 10. This stuff is the same. The ancient coin line is removed. Okay, so that's epic. And also, Pauldrons of the White Rock. I didn't talk about this one. It's just HP, AD, gold per 10, 3. This is the new item. So, yeah. The health, attack damage, and the spoils of war. So they basically just put the same passive on a few different items. No more of this. Excited. I don't even want to read this because I'm tired of it. Shurelia's Reverie. So grants health regen, health, heal and shield power instead of ability power and movement speed. Range increase, build path updated, and cost decreased. So we're sharpening Shurelia's into an disengage tool that's specifically for enchanters, whose main function is buffing their allies, rather than leaving it as an ambiguous flex pick that mage supports can also spec into, given they've got items that help them peel for their team. Tank supports have Righteous Glory, so all 3 support archetypes are covered. Okay, so yeah, these are the changes to Shurelia's. Lower gold, increase HP, cooldown and mana regen unchanged. New heal and shield power like we just read, and health regen. Very good item right here. No more AP and no more extra move speed. And yeah, just overall big buffs. Unique active grants your allies within 1,000 range 40% movement speed, and this lasts for 3 seconds, 90-second cooldown. Active range is 1,000. So yeah. Energized and crit items. Alright, so we struggled in the past to differentiate energized builds from traditional crit, given the static shiv and rapid fire cannon occupy both spaces, and the only other energized item is Storm Razor. This time we're embracing the overleap, and the goal of our changes is to make energized a slightly more mid-game oriented flavor of crit rather than its own thing entirely. Energized is all about the occasional massive hit rather than the non-stop barrage of consistently strong attacks. To that end, we're lowering the gap between how many procs users get from moving versus attacking. Attack speed was giving drastically more procs, making hit and run playstyles too ineffective by comparison. Not too sure what a hit and run playstyle is. Okay, I guess poke, I don't know. One trend you'll notice in the items below is simplification of individual item passes, particularly in the ones that change how Energized behaves. Each one now adds just one additional effect. Storm Raider's slow, RFC's range, Shiv's lightning, and proc. Let's see, and the proc damage has been standardized to a flat 120 on each item. All other mechanics changes have been removed or rolled onto Energized baseline functionality, so each item can stand on its own rather than require other Energized items to become fully effective. Alright, so Energized Zap, damage from Energized attacks now stacks rather than choosing the highest damage source. Keep moving, Energized charges from moving increased by 20%, charges from attacking reduced from 50%, so charges from attacking reduced by 50%, And demolitionist energized effects now always work on turrets. That's interesting. Updated item, Storm Razor. So energized damage increased. Slow is stronger but shorter. Now it grants crit chance. Attack damage, attack speed decreased. Build path updated. Can't speak. Build path updated. Cost increased. So Storm Razor is a great item on Jhin. The absence of crit chance on Storm Razor was the biggest impediment towards energized working as a crit variant. Adding it in means players can go for energized builds without having to trade away their crit progression. Per the simplification note above, we've removed Storm Razor's amp on other energized sources and sharpened its slow to a stronger, shorter effect. Offers more play around opportunities. 100 more gold cost, 55 AD, nerfed by 5, 25% crit chance, half of the attack speed used to offer, so it's 15% now instead of 30%. More than half of the energized damage has been added, and the energized slow is 75% for half of a second. Does not decay, and yeah. The energetic passive is removed, no longer amplifies other energized effects by 35%. Rapid fire cannon, energized damage higher early, lower late. No longer energizes charge rates. So relieving RFC's range increase as its defining feature and making its turret functionality baseline for energized. Its charge rate is increased and is going away per hour. Its charge rate increase is going away per our earlier comments on not one energized items strength to be tied to how many other items in the system you own. So big crit changes, energized items changes. Very excited to try this out on ADs. But yeah, energized is flat 120 on each level. The demolitionist passive is gone and extra energized is gone. So no longer causes energized effects to work on turrets because that's why baseline energized functionality is now. That's the baseline for these energized items to deal damage on turrets, and no longer increases energized charge rates for the extra energized. So it's good for ADs. Static shift, energized damage higher early, lower late. Lightning bonuses, lightning bounces increase. Lightning no longer crits. Wow. Shiv still makes lightning, but we're removing the ability for lightning to crit. That kind of sucks. This is partially for that crit versus energized split that we talked about already, but also because fully stacking energized items 360 damage gets you more power. i.e. Shiv crits did previously 325 damage right here. So yeah, since this is still an early to mid game nerf, we're also folding Storm Razor's old bonus bounce to increase the Shiv's baseline. This is also a good time to remind you that Shiv no longer needs RC to proc on turrets. Okay, so energized damage 120. The Shiv lightning bonus bounces are 7 instead of 5, so it hits the whole wave. And yeah, no longer critting. The lightning no longer crits. So yeah, the Critches shard, these are little items that are part of crit. Energized items, basically. The damage is increased and the cost is also increased. We want to make this more powerful. So yeah, they're making the cross up, energized damage up. Brawler's gloves are removed. Bye bye. Streamlining crit items. This is a slight nerf to flexibility, particularly early game, since Cloak requires more time spent farming. So this is a big item here. Crit chance is increased. So I like this. I really do. The change in the cost is not altered. There's no cost change actually. Crit increase, attack speed decrease, build path updated, and cost increased. Okay, so this is 200 more gold for 10% more crit chance, a little bit less attack speed, nerfed by 3%, movement speed is 5%. Phantom Dancer is different build path. So yeah, just a different build path. Phantom Dancer didn't have room for another component, so you need the dagger, the zeal, and 900 gold. Wow, that's all you. That's short. I see what they're doing. It's sort of a nerf to it. So no more spear Shojin it's removed. Alright. It's still available in ARAM though. So they removed this because by wielded by most synergistic users, Shojin's unique pass will reduce the downtime of their CC mobility and immunity spells beyond what we think leaves healthy room for counterplay. Removed ZZ Rot, Rip Rot. ZZ Rot enables split push strategies that don't involve enough champion interaction. We may revisit this type of strategic item in the future, but if we do, it'll require more risk for wielders to use. What's in the name? Mauser highest W stacks have now been renamed from Gathering Swarm to ZZ Rot Swarm. Next patch, his W will also be renamed to ZZ Rot Swarm. So this is in Mauser now. It did not technically remove it completely from the game. Armwrecker is gone. Armwrecker has been underused and underpowered for a long time. Turret disabling is an interesting mechanic. We thought we could have a place in League, but not only one potentially, but not one that potentially shows up in every team's toolkit, which is the risk of a good version of Armwrecker presents. So yeah, not everybody can use it, is what they're saying, I guess. I don't know why they took this out of the game. I guess because it's unused, sort of, by a lot of people. The penetrating bullets passive on turrets has been renamed to Armwrecker. So they changed the names to match other stuff in the game to confuse other people, I guess. I don't know. Confusing me. Penetrating bullets passive. So I'm not too sure what the passive is exactly. I think that's the extra damage you can get to towers somehow in the game. So with the removal of ZZ Rot and Armwrecker, Raptor's Cloak doesn't build into anything. Sorry, Darius. That's good that it affects Darius. Item, because I don't like Darius. Item set editor cleanup. While these items were technically removed, we turned their respective modes off. We're removing them from the item set creator to make the tool easier to use. Items Nexus Siege, Odyssey, Extraction, Nexus, Blitz, Portal King, and Dominion have been removed from the item set editor. Okay. Quality of life. Kleptomancy is now removed. Design stuff. Honestly, I don't really. I mean, Kleptomancy, I didn't use it that much. So it was. You know what Klepto is. It was designed as a rune that allowed users to build a gold advantage over opponents at the cost of immediate power others Keystone provide, and created moment-to-moment changes in lane dynamics. So yeah. The experience Klepto created for opponents to be farmed for gold for constant harass has been rough. So yeah, removing gold as an incentive left only the moment-to-moment dynamic changes, as Klepto's design core and League's consumable item system isn't deep enough to carry an entire keystone on its back. Sorry Klepto, even for an inspirational rune, you were too weird. I liked it, but I miss it. It was super unique. Prototype. This is a new rune. Prototype Omnistone. Periodically gain a single use of a random keystone. Enter Omnistone, a keystone meant to be Kleptomancy's spiritual successor. Like the elixir potion of Klepto's design, Omnistone is about making use of what you've got in the moment. Relative to the individual keystone it offers, Omnistone advantage is that users can rapidly cycle through keystones that otherwise have much longer cooldowns. Roulette. Periodically gain a single use of another random keystone. Once the keystone is rolled, it can't be rolled again until only 3 options are left, at which point the table resets. You won't get the keystone you just used though. Gain a new keystone 8 to 4 seconds. Melee level 1 to 18 or 12 to 8 seconds. Range level 1 to 18 after using the last. Scaling is weighted toward later levels, so it's longer later into the game. What I think they are talking about, or shorter. Yeah, not too sure why they added this rune in the game, but actually we already read it. Klepto's successor. Let's keep reading. Auto reroll. Gain a new keystone while out of combat after 40 seconds of not using a keystone. Your current keystone shows up to the right of your health bar. All 10 players can see it. Dark Harvest Souls persist if you get a different keystone and affect all your other keystones. Grasp of the Undying health persists after you get a different keystone. So you get all of these keystones from this one. So press attack, lethal, tempo, fleet footwork, conqueror, summon area, arcane comet, phase rush, electrocute, predator only if you have boots. Dark Harvest Souls amplify the effects of all keystones. Interesting. That's interesting. Hail of Blaze, Grasp of the Undying, Aftershock, and Glacial Augment. So Conqueror, the true damage conversion is removed. Healing is now post mitigation. Max, wow, that's important. Big nerf. So max stacks increase. Melee champions now gain double stacks. Range stacks no longer expire faster. Conqueror has been too effective at allowing sustained damage fighters to deal with tanks who have lost their place in solo lanes as a result. We're removing the true damage conversion and changing the heal to post mitigation damage so Conqueror doesn't hard counter tanks, but buffing this adaptive force to keep it strong. We're also changing up Conqueror's range and melee split so ranged users are a bit less disadvantaged through Conqueror remains a melee focused rune. Though Conqueror remains melee focused. So true damage is removed. None of that, we just read that. Healing at full stacks. The Conqueror heals for 15% of most post mitigation damage, so it's that healing. Ari might just benefit a lot from this. Maximum stacks from 5 to 10, and the stacks are 2 per ability hit or melee basic attack, 1 per ranged attack, or yeah, ranged basic attack. So yeah, stack duration is 8 seconds. Adaptive force per stack 2 to 5, and max adaptive force is 20 to 50. Alright, scaling with levels, bunch of stuff, man, bunch of stuff. Okay, so Aftershock, flat resistances decrease, percent bonus resistances increase, flat damage increase early, damage now scales with bonus health rather than max health. So I read this already before, however let's check it out here. Aftershock's flat resistances eliminating the primary weakness of several ranged champions, forcing us to either balance rune around edge case users or balance those edge case users around. Aftershock, we're reshaping this keystone around tanks and fighters and keeping an eye on how former ranged users fare in the preseason. So yeah, the resistances are 35 plus 80% bonus. Basically buffs to Aftershock. So more damage, more more scaling resistances, but less flat resistance. So let's tanking this base early. So yeah, shorter cooldown though. Bug fix for Aftershock's resistance is no longer lasting for slightly longer than intended. Wow, that's big. Presence of Mind increases mana or energy pool on takedown instead of refunding ult cooldown. Now restores energy in addition to mana. This rune's ult cooldown refund overlaps too much with Cloud Drake's new buff. Admittedly, so does Ultimate Hunter, but Hunter is usable by more champions and has a clearer goal, so it's the one that gets to stay. We are changing Presence of Mind to finally open it up to energy users and to grant a resource of pool increase. Big brain getting bigger rather than a partial ult reset. Okay, so the takedown bonus is now you restore 20% maximum mana or energy and increase your maximum mana by up to 100 up to 500, or a maximum energy by 10 up to 50. So Nimbus Cloak procs off of summoner spells instead of ults. We turn Nimbus Cloak into Cloud Drake's Dragon Soul. So we are changing Nimbus Cloak to work off of summoner spells instead. So the proc for Nimbus Cloak is on summoner spell cast. You get a 15% to 35% speed boost for 2.5 seconds depending on the summoner spell cooldown, and the long cooldown is like flash or teleport. You get 35% movement speed. Medium cooldown is 25%. Heal, ignite, cleanse, exhaust, ghost, barrier, and short cooldown 50% move speed, hex splash, smite, Zoe's W, stuff like that. Wow, that's big. Okay, so Senna no longer gains double stacks on ARAM. So remove Spell Thief's conversion. Senna no longer converts ability power from Spell Thief's Edge into Adaptive Force since she can just buy Spectral Sickle. Alt mode bonus. Senna no longer gains double misstacks on ARAM, Earth, or other variant. So yeah, video on Senna in the top right hand corner of the screen, top right hand corner. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother reading this. Twisted Tree Line, Sunset is gone. So yeah, players who played more than 10 games, 50 games, and 100 games got special icons. Essence of Emporium. So this returns for preseason by November 25th to 10th. Spend your blue essence on icons, chromas, and more. So yeah, it's gonna be different, including Emporium exclusives. So yeah, new essence stuff. These are the bug fixes. You can pause the video if you want to see any of this stuff. So yeah, this is interesting. Let's read the first one. The camera no longer locks if while dead. You use the minimap to move the camera around. Then after respawn, press the spacebar to center it on yourself. Okay, so true damage skin updates. Loading screen borders uniquely colored per skin. Shaved part of Echo's hair has been extended to cover more of his forehead. Okay, for the Echo skin, a little bit of change. You can't really see it here. Can't really see any of these here. Okay, you can see that one. Okay, that's it. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to subscribe. Check out more of my content. I gotta go to work. Peace. Please support me. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Even the new people, even the old ones. I will treat you all great. Peace.